A young mother named Kisa Gotami had lost her only child. She was devastated, her heart shattered into a million pieces. She carried her son's lifeless body from house to house, her eyes filled with desperation and sorrow. She begged for medicine to bring him back, her voice trembling with hope and despair.
Please, someone help me. I cannot bear this pain alone. I need medicine to revive my son. There must be something that can save him.
The villagers, with heavy hearts, told her that her son was gone. They tried to console her, but their words felt empty. They said she should let him go, that death was a part of life. But Kisa Gotami could not accept their words. Her love for her child was too strong. She clung to the belief that someone, somewhere, could revive her child. She refused to give up hope. In desperation, Kisa Gotami sought out the Buddha, who was said to possess great wisdom and compassion. She believed he could help her. She fell at his feet, tears streaming down her face, her voice choked with emotion.
Please, Lord Buddha, hear my plea. Bring my son back to life. I beg of you, show me mercy and grant me this miracle.
Buddha looked upon Kisa Gotami with immense kindness. His eyes reflected a deep understanding of her suffering. He saw her unbearable pain and her desperate hope. Her heart was shattered by the loss of her only child, and she was willing to do anything to bring him back. He knew he could not bring her son back. The laws of life and death were beyond even his power to change. But he also knew that this experience could be a path to her liberation from suffering. He saw an opportunity to teach her a profound truth about life and death.
I can help you, Kisa Gotami. But first, you must bring me a handful of mustard seeds. These seeds must come from a very special place.
Kisa Gotami felt a glimmer of hope. She thought that perhaps this simple task could bring her son back to life. This seemed like a simple request. She bowed gratefully, her heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose.
I will find the seeds, Lord Buddha. I will do whatever it takes to bring my son back.
But there is one condition, Kisa Gotami. The seeds must come from a house that has never known death. Only then will you understand the true nature of life and loss.
Kisa Gotami ran from house to house, her heart filled with a renewed sense of purpose. At each door she asked for a handful of mustard seeds. The villagers were moved by her grief and readily agreed to help.
Please, I need a handful of mustard seeds.
But when she explained the condition, their faces fell.
Ah, dear child, death comes to every house. My father died just last year, and my sister's child. She was taken too soon.
As the day wore on, Kisa Gotami began to notice something she had never seen before. The world around her seemed to be painted with a new, somber hue. Every house, every family had experienced the pain of losing a loved one. It was as if the entire village was united by a shared, invisible thread of sorrow. Death was not unique to her. It was a common thread that wove through the fabric of every life. It was a part of life, a universal truth that no one could escape. The sun rose and set, and with it life and death cycled endlessly.
She saw the elderly mourning their spouses, their eyes filled with years of shared memories and unspoken words. She saw parents grieving for their children, clutching onto the remnants of young lives taken too soon. She saw children who had lost their siblings, their innocent faces marked by the harsh reality of loss.
The world was filled with sorrow, yet life went on. People continued their daily routines, carrying their grief silently within them. Kisa Gotami realized the truth in the Buddha's words. She understood that her suffering was not isolated. It was a part of the human experience. There was no house that had never known death. Each door she knocked on revealed another story of loss and resilience. She had been so consumed by her own grief that she had been blind to the suffering of others. Now, she saw clearly that in sharing her pain, she could also share in the healing. She returned to the Buddha, empty-handed but with a heart full of understanding. She fell to her knees, no longer begging for her son's life, but for guidance.
I understand now, Lord Buddha, she whispered. Death comes to all beings. It is the nature of life.
The Buddha smiled kindly. Yes, he said. Just as the stars shine in the night sky, death is a natural part of life's cycle. To cling to life is to cling to suffering.
Kisa Gotami realized the futility of her wish. She had been seeking a solution to grief in a world where grief was inevitable. The Buddha's wisdom had shown her the path to true peace, accepting the impermanence of all things.
Kisa Gotami became a devoted follower of the Buddha. She dedicated her life to helping others find peace in the face of suffering. She learned that true happiness lay not in holding on to what was fleeting, but in embracing the ever-changing nature of life itself.